5, 4, 3.
Welcome, everyone, and pull up a seat at the table. It's Lunchtime in Rome. Tonight's episode 269 is titled Emotional Etiquette. What is proper etiquette these days? What are the emotional implications of these societal situations? We'll be talking about that at the table this evening, so pull up a seat at the table and join us. First-time listeners can subscribe on your favorite podcast app or watch us live or later on YouTube at Lunchtime in Rome. Visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com, and while there, you can take our relational needs questionnaire. Make sure to follow us on all social media, and it would be great if you gave us a 5-star review. It really helps us. Jay, what specifically is this podcast about?
Being alone is the worst. Good times aren't as good, and bad times are worse when you're all alone. Romans 12:15 says to rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. That is how you keep people from being alone, and what this podcast is all about. We demonstrate that in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the podcast, and we talk about it for the rest. So while it may not be 12:15 in Rome, we're treating it like it is lunchtime in Rome.
Week before Thanksgiving?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You have an idea, Brian?
I think it was your idea, so I don't take credit for it.
Well, I was thinking we could have a Thanksgiving food draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is...
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
12, and then I'll explain it to you.
Okay,
Like you're 5.
please.
Each of us at the table here, the 4 of us, will be selecting 3 items for the best Thanksgiving food. Let's say we're going to go ahead and include desserts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So main, sides, desserts.
We got to include dessert.
We each get 3, but we're going to go in order. And once an item is gone, he's gone. So, you know, if somebody takes bratwurst, I don't want to give anybody ideas. Nobody else can have bratwurst.
Yep.
God,
That actually could be a fun
bratwurst.
Should have gone
I'm
with
drafting
sardines.
And
We
go,
should. Okay.
And we go around 4 times.
That would be 3 times.
That's what I meant. That's actual math.
But there are 4 of us.
That is true.
I was going to say,
Snake
like,
order.
some people do have like traditional, but not traditional.
Yeah, hey,
dishes.
But then what we're going to do is we're going to put it on all of our social medias, and then we're going to tally up the votes on whose was best. Now, here's the question: for the social medias, do we do it person 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, I like it. Anonymous.
so that our least popular person doesn't get downvoted on purpose?
Anonymous.
Anonymous,
When you say least popular
Well,
person,
my point is
you mean
everybody
like one of us?
right? Like if somebody's like, "I'm not voting for Jay," that guy's a jerk, so I'm
Yeah.
going to downvote all his. So I use myself.
I don't think we need to do that.
I agree with Jay. Don't you think if I post them on my social media, people will be like, oh, actually, no, nobody cares
You
if
don't
I...
have any social
Yeah,
media.
it doesn't matter. No.
What are you putting it on? MySpace?
I was trying to think of something. Yeah, MySpace.
You're like, I'm going to make a 6-second Vine. Yeah.
There's an old chat room I used to go to. I'm just gonna
Okay.
put it.
Easy. Friends of
They didn't all used to be dirty.
Mr. Bumpus or wherever your one teacher was.
Mr. Ingle K.
Yeah, Ingle K.
Friends of Mr. Ingle. He's great.
Ingle
Don't
K?
throw any shade at Mr. Ingle K.
I don't know if I've ever
He
heard of
is
Mr. Ingle.
Oh,
fantastic.
you have. We all have. We've all seen the documentaries.
This is
Scandalous.
this is not okay.
I'm sorry. Everything is okay with Ingle K.
Yes.
All right,
there
let's
it
pick
is.
numbers.
Okay, we're drawing.
Here we go.
Draft
Look at-
order.
Do we look at our numbers?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do we look?
5, 4, 3. Really?
Wait, what did you say?
He already looked.
5, 4,
2,
3, 2, 1.
Oh, 4.
3.
2.
All right. And it is snake. I said that before. I got 4.
Yeah. Yep.
All right
For
then.
those of you who don't know what snake means, you'll figure it out.
So Chris, Brian, Eric, Jay.
Who's keeping track? You're keeping track.
I'm keeping track.
I'm going to keep track as well because I don't want to. We can't. With only 3, you can't have somebody already like, you know, your third pick. You're like, what about turkey? And somebody's like, I already took turkey.
So a little clarification. Do we have to pick a main, a side, and a dessert?
Nope. Anything
No.
you want, baby.
Anything I want.
It's your plate.
But what's going to make people vote for you?
We're just serving up 12 dishes here, man.
Well, I feel like I have the slam dunk top pick of the draft.
I mean,
And I think some of
You
you
better.
will agree with me. Stuffing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's start now. Do you mean dressing or do you mean stuffing? And is there a difference?
Oh boy.
Oh, so dressing could still be on the table.
Could be.
Like you're talking stovetop or
No, dressing is in the bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, dressing is outside.
Yeah.
Stuffing is in the bird.
And so we're considering those two different
I'm
things.
asking.
So like stovetop would be dressing because
Well, you could do either. You could make stovetop into bird,
Yeah.
in which case would be stuffing. Out of the bird, dressing. I say it's one and the same.
I agree that it's one and the
Yeah.
same.
I
It's
think
the same
one of
ingredient.
One and the
Yeah.
same.
It makes the game better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's next?
me. Sweet potato casserole.
Early.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
Early. That was going to be there for you in the second round.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to mock everybody's pick. I just want you to know that. Whatever. It's been a while since fantasy football.
Man, this is tough. This is tough already. It's only the first round.
There's no good items left.
Well, I'm not a turkey guy. I mean, I eat turkey on Thanksgiving, but like that's not that's not
Nobody likes turkey.
yeah. I'm gonna go. Could go mashed potatoes.
I hadn't even thought of that. Thanks for saying it.
I'm gonna go green bean casserole.
With cheese?
No, but with the onion crumblies on top. Extra
Okay.
onion crumblies.
What about almonds, slivered almonds?
Sure, whatever. How
yeah.
you prefer.
Half
I
and
like
half.
I like the onion crumblies.
All right. I'm going to go mashed potatoes. I'm not going for texture. Pumpkin pie.
You know, that's
right,
funny. We
because-
just had one of my teammates at work. His name's Wesley. He's a great baker, and he says pumpkin pie is like the worst dessert.
Yep. First bite, it's the best bite you've had all year. By the time you're done, you're like, I'm good for another year.
I find that to be true.
Yep.
Yeah,
So those were your two picks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'd rather have like one of your mom's pumpkin rolls that she makes.
Oh,
yeah.
those are good.
delicious.
Or a good tart.
So it's back to me, huh?
It
So you
is.
said mashed potatoes and pumpkin pie. I am going to go.
We might go 4 deep. I'm excited. This is fun.
I'm gonna go homemade applesauce.
Applesauce.
Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference.
I'm gonna go canned.
Nice.
Canned cranberry.
Canned cranberry, like onto the plate.
Gross.
It's so good.
It's essential.
Gotta have it.
Amy makes homemade, and it's so good.
I gotta tell you, so far, Brian,
Yeah, right. Thank you.
it's terrible.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
see, actually, if you look, he's got the sweet potato casserole. So he's got the sweet.
I don't like it.
And the creamy, and then you have the gelatinous and tart.
Hate it.
That's all right.
Look, I'm gonna come out on top.
Okay. You've got some awesome third round pick in your pocket.
And now Chris gets 2.
Just based on what I'm saying.
Oh, I get two.
yeah, snake.
Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. So
Can we go 4?
I mean, I guess
It's only fair, actually, to Chris.
because I'm getting too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's true.
I've gotten an
It's fair
advantage.
to all of us.
Yeah. It's yeah.
We'll go 4.
All right. 4, that helps me out a little bit. So I am going to. I'm going to pull out something that is so good. It helps everything on your plate. Well, almost everything
I know
on
where
your
you're going.
plate.
It's a great pick.
Gravy.
Yeah. For about half the people, that's a great pick.
All right.
And then I'm going to shift gears to dessert. Obviously, desserts are preference, but Dutch apple pie
Oh,
is.
that was my dessert.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Dutch apple pie is the king.
All right, back to you, Bri. You want something else like gross or?
Maybe olives.
Olive loaf. No, that's not my pick.
Fruitcake. Got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with pecan pie.
What? That's a good one. I do like
What
pecan.
is going
That's
on?
one of my. That's
Can
one
somebody
of my good
else
ones.
get pecan pie?
I mean, one of my favorites.
Pecan.
Are we including?
Whatever you want, babe.
Well, like we do a little eating before the meal.
Yeah. We said before, during, after.
I'm just trying to avoid turkey.
No. He just
I
had,
know. I
he had
know.
an amazing
Just trying to
revelation.
avoid turkey. I don't want turkey. I'm going like a charcuterie board.
It's solid. It's
So-
but it's
so
many
so
items.
olives.
Right. Well, no, but I'm saying that is that allowed?
That's
Can you
like
go
a
whole?
I was actually gonna
That's
say
like
like
saying
in my head.
That's
Dinner.
like a table. Yeah.
I was gonna say like you guys can veto it, and I'm fine with that.
I think you got to pick a vein, like cheese and
cheese
pepperoni
plate.
and cheese.
Or-
Cheese plate.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
or
what?
veggie
No,
platter.
You know what I'll do because we do this.
Do.
I'm gonna go shrimp cocktail.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds a little
Just
DG,
misspelled
but
shrimp
it's
on
all right.
my note here. I'm going turkey. I don't make a turkey in the third round.
Somebody's got to.
I was gonna take it for my last pick if nobody else did. Yeah.
Crescent rolls.
Oh,
All right.
Right.
Now, does that cover all rolls?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry. Rolls.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be more. Rachel's going to be so happy with me. Look at my list: mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, turkey, and rolls.
Yeah.
That's a good list.
It's right down the middle.
That's strong.
That's a really good list.
Maybe we'll go 6 because I got to get creative at some point. Is there etiquette on misleading podcast titles? Can you imagine? We go like 20 rounds. We're like, sorry.
I am gonna go cherry cobbler.
That's a good one.
Yes, it is.
I would love cherry cobbler.
Doesn't love you though, buddy.
No, I'm saying, is it Thanksgiving?
Strawberry pretzel salad.
What was this, July 4th?
I'm so happy because I was like, I'm the negative guy. I'm the only one being negative.
I'm here
I've
for
bashed
it. I'm
people's
here
picks.
for it. I'm here for
I
it.
stand by everything I say.
I said what I said.
You're gonna have a sugar spike at your
This
meal,
is everything that I eat at Thanksgiving.
Bro, you're
we'll,
right.
No, we'll do a review. We'll do a review at the end. Yeah.
All right. This is last pick.
I don't know. I can go more. You want to leave people wanting more? We can finish it. Or do you want to go up and down again? Brian,
I'd rather,
move on.
yeah.
All right, this is it. Last pick.
Okay.
I don't know why he gets the only call, but go on. I gave it to him. Respect.
Got to respect the pick.
I'm trying to think of something like fresh and green-ish, like
Green bean
veggie-ish.
casserole?
Shamrock shake.
Grass.
Grass-fed turkey.
An apple. Green.
I'm really having trouble.
I can hear that.
All right.
You don't need to though. I mean, who's counting
You're
calories
the
on
last.
Thanksgiving?
What about like a vegetable medley?
Yeah.
Like
Corn.
a frozen bag of frozen vegetables.
That's
in
a
the
but that's a
microwave.
terrible pick.
Corn is
That's
good.
a terrible
though.
pick.
That's not good.
Corn is a good pick though.
We left corn one year in the microwave. I found it the next morning.
Yeah.
Was it still good?
Brian would have eaten it.
Put it
but
in an omelet. It was
like,
fine.
Like it never made it to the table.
Yeah.
Not somebody's
Yeah,
reheating.
right.
And there was probably
Nobody said,
"Hey, where's
Yeah,
the
no.
corn?"
where the hell's the corn?
But I do like corn though.
Oh, corn.
I've got it. This is a tradition in my family. I would assume it's more.
Monkey brains.
Close. Tongue.
I'm going with sparkling grape juice.
I mean,
That's no.
Nobody else does that?
No, I'm vetoing it.
you
Why?
can't veto
What do
it.
you mean?
Dude,
Oh, you mean on his behalf?
how you going to put that on a plate? It's
Oh,
on your plate.
I thought everything was not drinks.
I don't know.
Let him.
That's fine.
What do you think it's going to put him over to the top?
Well, wait. If drinks are
I just-
not allowed, I don't. It's not a legal pick. I want to redo.
You said plate. It's on your plate.
Did we say plate?
I don't.
I mean, here's my point. If he would have said like Dom Perignon, then we can make. He said sparkling juice.
It's a classic
Where?
Okay. All right.
at Grammy's house.
Unveto.
I mean, I get your logic, Eric, but like sometimes when a kid wants to play with a knife, you got to let them cut themselves.
Listen. Okay.
Don't have me babysit.
I mean,
But
it would
the point
pair,
is-
it would pair nicely with Brian's plate that he's got going on.
I got the winning plate here. I'm telling you. I got the winning plate.
sparkling. Just
Now, are people voting based on like, oh, just this is a good list of things I like for Thanksgiving, or are they based on
it's a
if
Thanksgiving
this-
food draft.
Yeah, but okay, but listen,
Open for interpretation.
It's well, I feel like it's kind of like which plate out of these
exactly.
would you take?
If you had all these items served in
Oh,
front of you,
That changes things.
No, I said we had a Thanksgiving food draft. We
Yeah.
leave it up to them.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
if
right.
we decided
That's
what do you
fine.
want on your plate, which plate wins, I might have gone a different direction, but I still stand by my choice.
I said what I said.
I said what I said.
No, I do feel like you got to stand by what you said
I
because
do
like
stand
there's
by
people out there that like that be like that's an awesome plate.
That is an awesome, and most of them are going to say that.
I think
I'm going to
Kono.
buy traffic just to
Eric's-
our sites and tell them that. Yeah,
Okay, I'm here
Eric,
for it.
Eric
yeah.
yours is strong.
Oh, I know.
like yours is strong.
It's a good balance.
He's got
mean-
green bean casserole, applesauce, shrimp, and cherry cobbler. Mm-hmm. It's pretty strong. Brian, yours is sweet. I mean, hey, you're gonna get the sweet tooth. Sweet potato casserole, cranberry to balance it out. Canned, by the way.
yeah.
Pecan pie and strawberry pretzel jello.
Yeah.
Dude, I do love strawberry.
Oh,
pretzel
they're
salad.
all phenomenal. Well,
I mean, you've got the classic. You've got
nothing
the
goes right
straight
down
up-
the middle more than me.
No, that is.
I don't like pecan pie.
I don't know if I've ever had it.
Really,
It's delicious.
Chris?
Oh, I love pecan
It's
pie.
delicious.
Yeah.
Put some,
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
some Cool Whip on
I
the
feel
pie.
like maybe I want like
Do you want me to make you a pecan pie?
Say yes.
sure, but like
Wow.
that didn't sound.
no, well, like,
I would love it if you made me one. I'll just give it to you. But see, I'll be excited. About
see, my thing is like what's like the gel layer under all the pecans?
Gel.
Strawberry pretzel salad.
That was good. No, but there's like that thick, like the real sweet part of it.
Yeah. I honestly.
Yeah,
it's,
I've never made it. I don't know.
Flour and sugar and.
But like if there was like less of that and more pecans, I'd be kind of more.
So you've
more
had it?
about Yeah, I have.
And you're saying you haven't had it?
No.
I know you haven't eaten sweets recently, but
He's
like
not
in
from
your whole life.
Alabama or Georgia.
I gotta tell you guys, I don't think anything tops my plate.
Oh, everything.
Okay,
No, are
hear
you
it.
kidding me?
Let's hear Chris's
Stuffing
thoughts.
and gravy.
Got
Stuffing
gravy.
and gravy.
Solid 1-2.
That is the most ideal combo on this whole list.
And who does not like sparkling? Whatever you said.
I
Sparkling
stand by
grape juice.
Dutch apple pie is the best dessert.
I'm like, what is bath pie? Dutch apple pie.
Yeah.
All right.
it's
Dutch
not a
apple
bad
pie,
plate.
best dessert.
None of them are bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
And all you're slamming Grammy's house. I'm telling you,
You lost it at that though. Like you could have picked something else that like
ham. You put ham
Yeah.
with the rest of that?
Yeah.
Nah, nobody likes ham.
Does
for
anybody
Thanksgiving.
do leg of lamb?
We no, that's Easter for us.
Is it Easter?
Yeah,
We do ham at Easter.
we do that as well.
Yeah.
Man,
See, I feel like that's why I feel like like something else would have balanced your plate out, and like you would have had a really strong
other than
contender.
a dumb drink.
Yeah,
No offense.
Well, let's go
Offense.
back. I'll redo
dude,
it.
because you have like you have my favorite stuffing. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
that's,
yeah,
that's,
who don't like stuffing?
that's taking up like 3/4 of my plate on Thanksgiving.
gravy. The great.
Dutch apple pie is like
If you're
my,
into gravy.
it's one of my favorite desserts. Oh man,
And the next day, you just put it all on a sandwich together.
Listen.
You just eat the entire thing.
Try
Take it down
eating
with
your
some
turkey
flat-
this year with
flat-
some
used to be
sparkling
juice.
grape
Used to
juice.
be. Used to
Try
be.
eating your turkey with some sparkling grape juice.
I'm not
telling you.
against. I'm not against. I just.
I'm
It's
not
just not
making
top
fun
four.
of you. I'm not making
It's
fun
not
of that.
top four.
I'm with you.
It's not top four.
what would you pick if you could take that back?
He wouldn't. That's how sure he is.
I kind of like the pick. I do.
I respect it.
Gosh.
Kind of.
I wonder about the other people sitting at the table. What do you think they think about the pick?
Well, you know what? We should turn and we should not only think of what they might pick, and I'll be very excited to hear like what Ashley and the others who sit at the head of the table each and every week And that would be Ashley. That would be Mary Lynn. That would be Bethany. That would be Breaking 90. That would be Laurie Ann. And that would be Groot from the Hooked on Jesus podcast. Done from memory. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I would like to hear Ashley's plate because she's the foodie.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but see, here's the other end of it, though.
Yeah.
It's got to be in this format.
Oh, sure.
You know, because you can't just take your top 4. I mean, I almost
No, but
got my
that's like
top 4.
the genius of it because like I would want to hear like, all right, you're putting a plate together.
Actually, she was on
And
for
you're limited.
Thanksgiving, I think, last year.
She might have been.
Rings a bell.
Yeah.
Does anybody do mac and cheese for Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Oh,
a lot of
There are a
people
lot
do.
of people that do mac and cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
First time,
almost made my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
first time I ever heard this done was on the Tour Life podcast, another lesser known podcast than ours, with Brody Smith and my good friend Paul Ulibarri. And I think for his second pick, Paul Ulibarri picked beets. And it went for about a half hour of Brody roasting him on beets. Like I just kept hitting 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. But I don't understand how you get beets. And it went on forever.
Man, you got to tell Brody about sparkling.
Hey, I did just realize,
Grammys.
and I'm not asking for the pick back. I stand by it.
Yep.
But if I had to pick a food, I realized I would have gone with, and I've mentioned this in past years on pod, the Hawaiian fried rice. Excellent plate.
You have. I think we argued about that too.
Yeah.
Hawaiian fried
I
rice.
thought you were going to go Hawaiian rolls. And I was going to be like, I have rolls.
I got rolls. Because that's what I was
Yeah.
going to do. That was going to be one of mine.
Yeah.
I love the Hawaiian rolls.
Because on my maternal grandmother's side,
What you gonna say with maternity leave? Go on.
there was a portion of the family from Hawaii, and so that was a recipe that
that's
they
fun.
brought with them to PA. And it
Spam?
was, no, I don't think there was any. Oh, no, shrimp. There
Are
was
you part
shrimp.
Samoan? Are
yeah.
you Samoan Scottish?
It's not. No blood relation for me from that side. Yeah.
Oh, because that would have been.
It explains
Pretty
his temper,
shocking.
though,
Yeah.
and his haka. Not to be confused with nope. Hakatua. So they all went to lunchtimeinroom.com and became paid subscribers. And they help support
they
this
did.
podcast.
Yes, they
So
did.
we appreciate that. We would love for you to sit at the head of the table. And this week started actually a couple months ago. Eric said, there was a podcast, the Nateland podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were talking about etiquette with Leanne Morgan. Mm-hmm. And I said, listening to the Are You Garbage podcast, where they actually had a etiquette expert come on. And we said, well, Eric's idea was we should look at etiquette, but from an emotional needs perspective. So me being the creative director of this table, I rewatched both of those podcasts, took notes, and then I thought, well, I'm sitting here. I may as well throw something onto Facebook. So I put it out there, and my feed blew up, and people are very passionate about etiquette. And I asked basically what do you miss that people don't do anymore as far as etiquette goes? And what do you think should be maybe reinstituted?
Yeah.
And then if you can, attach an emotional need to it.
Oh, yeah.
So here's what we'll do. I'm going to briefly, I think, to whatever degree, go over the two podcasts because there wasn't that much. A lot of it was on dining. Again, it is not a Christian podcast, but the Are You Garbage podcast with Micah Meyer. It is so great. They're sitting at a table and she's teaching them proper dining etiquette. And some of the questions they ask, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But starting with the Nate Bargatze podcast, they were referencing the complete book of etiquette, which is 700 pages long, last updated in 1995, originally made in 1952 by Amy Vanderbilt.
95.
Last updated.
So there is no mention of anything, obviously, like social media
no.
related. Yeah.
And actually, none of this comes from that. So I don't even know why I said that because they mentioned it. But number one was, what do you guys think about etiquette on it? So they talked a lot about airplanes.
Yeah.
Seat back or not?
No.
You can't.
I do.
That's so great right there. No, you can't.
Yeah,
I do.
can't do it. I can't do it.
Because
Hard.
No, not hard. Respectfully, I ease it back, but it's my right. And they build the airplanes this way, and everybody realizes it.
I mean, I flew in 2015, and then just this year. And what's crazy is in these last 9 years, like 2015, you just put your seat back. And now it's like, you can't.
here's why I say you can't. Because space, I mean, if you're flying coach, at least space is so limited, like inches matter. And so when you put, even though the seats don't go back that far, you lose that, like, whatever, 4 inches or however far they.
Not if you put yours back.
Now I need to think about that.
I don't care.
But that's not etiquette. I'm just saying.
It's within my rights.
It absolutely is.
And within my rules. Now, if I was driving around with my high beams on,
Here we go.
that's actually illegal. Like, you're not supposed to do that.
Okay.
Is it illegal?
Like they made the seats that way.
So you're saying
They encourage you to put them back by putting a button on there.
Or do they encourage you to turn them
your
off?
definition of etiquette would include something about rules and is what you're saying.
When you're on a golf course, do you throw your golf club or smash it against the golf cart?
I have every right
You
to.
mean ball golf.
But you don't.
Bad etiquette. I don't know what that's got to do with your seat.
The seat is
I'm
made to
with
go
you.
back. The seat's
Right.
made to go back. And
My golf club is made to hit things, particularly balls.
The ball.
Here's another thing that does, though, is like you have the little, seat back table.
It swivels.
yeah, the seat
It
table
does.
adjusts.
It stays level, but then like if somebody's like trying to work and do something on their computer, I don't want to
You've
inconvenience
lost,
the person.
you've
Okay.
lost the angle of being able to open a computer there.
So turn it around. You don't put your seat back, but the person behind you pulls the tray down, and they have their laptop on it. Now they're
You're
banging away
bouncing.
on their laptop. Is that etiquette? What is that? Do they have a
I don't
right
know
to
if
do
I've
that
ever
to you?
felt that.
I've never had that.
Like-
Heavy typer.
In that case, I feel like that's bad etiquette. Like, use your tray table. Don't disrupt me from living by banging your stuff and messing my seat up. If I put my seat back, it is specifically designed to not really interfere with your life.
Correct.
That's.
I'm not saying there's an answer.
Me, that's the etiquette.
For me, I mean, if I flew a lot, which I don't, and I think maybe you could look at how long is the flight. If you're talking 3-4 hours,
Great point. Yep.
you got to be able to move it back.
What
a little
time
bit.
is the flight?
But you
Is
turn
it
your head back.
morning?
Okay, hey, we good? We good if I just a little bit here, a little bit, and then just slowly move it back.
When I flew to
As you staring them in the eye, you're just like,
yeah.
We good?
Don't say anything.
When I flew to
Stare them
Providence
in the eye.
and back last month, it was an hour flight, so it was not a long
By
flight.
the time you got up, you were coming down.
Pretty much, but the guy in front of me had put his coat up over his seat, so it was like,
oh, see, that's bad
Now,
etiquette.
I would have said something had the flight been a
Longer.
3-5 hour flight. Yeah,
I
but
was
it
gonna
was-
say, well, the other thing
Sir,
is like,
I was just like looking
Your
at the back of
coat.
his head, like what?
Or his hair, like a woman's hair, flipped over the back.
so
Sometimes you sniff it. I mean,
Got to put your gum somewhere.
I think like for me, it's not enough of a recline to like really feel reclined anyway. So like I really don't
Sure.
want to recline.
But
anyway.
it's enough to hinder the space
well,
of the
but
person
I would
behind you.
with my high need of acceptance. If I
Oh, yeah,
did
you're
want to
never
recline,
sliding back.
well, I would have to ask the person
Right.
behind me like, totally fine if it's no, but like, would you mind if I lean back?
Yeah. As far as the seats on the airplane, this was in the book. Middle seat gets both armrests.
Yeah.
yep.
So, like middle seat of 3.
Correct. Hence.
Yeah. What if it is 4 though? What if it is 4 across? If you're on a big plane.
So 2 middle seat. Oh, right. If it is 4, then
They get the outside and
It's
they
Lord
fight
of the-
over
it's
the
Lord
middle.
of
They fight
Flies,
over the
buddy.
middle.
a cage match for
It's
that
Lord of
middle
the
one.
Flies.
And then for the window, that person should consult on opening and closing the blind.
see, I depends on the time of the flight
Sure.
to me. Because if I get a window seat, it's because I want the window. And I do love the window seat in an airplane. If somebody's like, no, you need to close that, I'll be like, no, I got the window seat. I bought this seat.
Sun's
So here's
coming up. Just
You've every,
Ryan's nodding in
window.
approval.
I'm with you.
You've every right. See, I
I'm
would.
with you. There are factors where do you mind if I open this?
Sure.
See,
like-
I would close it and then ask if you want it open. Let me know. I'll put it up.
That's nice. No, that is nice. And if it was like, when we're flying to Europe, when we did that once, that is, fly to Europe, like it was like overnight, like we were supposed to be sleeping, so I get it. Like,
I think I'll preface like this whole conversation, maybe not preface because it's not the beginning of this conversation, but read the room, read the people around you, try to make friends if you can, be a nice human being, and whatever you do will take the whole etiquette factor down a notch.
Yeah.
Nate Bargatze, the great Nate Bargatze, theologian, said, all of these things can be answered by just try not to be noticed.
Yeah.
And that's
my
also
goal.
true of deplaning.
That is my goal.
You know, and
The
everything else.
deplaning where like
Everybody-
you're 100 rows back, and as soon as that plane stops, like the guy in front of you, his crotch is in your face,
Yep.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing?
Just
it's gonna take
wait.
you 20
Nowhere
more
to
minutes."
go.
Just wait.
Sit
When they-
down.
if anybody has a connecting flight and all of a sudden everybody has a connecting flight and has to run to the front, I'm going to skip the rest of those just because I want to get to the other stuff. So some dining stuff, which was just incredible. Again, are you garbage? With your napkin, you're to find the seam of the napkin around the edge,
Okay.
fold it in half so that the seam is on seam, then put the crease to your belly
Okay.
so that if you're going to wipe your mouth, you open it, wipe with the inside, then close it so that all of your stains aren't visible on the napkin.
Never done that.
No. You haven't done a lot of this.
That sounds like origami.
It's simple. I mean, you just fold it like this, but wipe on this part so that you then cover it so you don't see all the sauce and everything all over the place.
I get it.
Too much.
Obviously, you should wait for everyone to be served before you eat. I traditionally only think of that with women. I don't know if it's a chivalrous thing or whatever. Like if we're out to eat with our wives and you didn't get your food, I mean,
Yeah.
But if your wife didn't, then I'll wait.
I tend to wait.
That's
I
not
tend
a
to wait
thing, by the way.
Yeah, I've
regardless.
never
not a
thought of
thing.
that.
Yeah, I usually wait, but I'm always
The
like,
one
digging-
exception,
Is
I
when
was-
they say, "Oh, sorry,
no, but
oh, but that's good."
yeah, but no is like if you get a salad and somebody else doesn't.
Well, funny you should say that.
Okay,
Because she also said you've got to read the room and whoever sort of is hosting or whatever else, because you don't want to be the only person that gets a salad. Because now you've made it awkward for everybody else and you're causing their entrees to have to wait.
Oh wow.
Because you get your salad or you get your appetizer,
yeah,
and then they may have brought out the entree, but they didn't. So either you kind of want to make sense of what's everybody doing.
I think
Again, etiquette.
I think etiquette is becoming more of a lost art.
Oh, sure.
Like people just are so oblivious.
Oh.
It can be infuriating and sad.
Which is, like it's infuriating and sad. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, that's
I don't get. Well, I feel like would a salad delay everybody else's meal? Like, would a restaurant do that?
She said it could.
could.
And it's awkward because you're eating nobody else. If you're the only one getting a salad.
Yeah, I just never thought it would like delay the meal because a lot of times, like if even if I'm not the only one that got a salad, I'm like maybe halfway through my salad and then the meal comes out.
It's more of a, that indicates more the type of restaurant you're eating at.
That's true.
This is a Seinfeld sketch. Right? This is a Seinfeld show,
Yeah.
episode right here.
Last person to be served dictates whether or not people eat. So like if everybody's like at the wedding on Saturday that I was where I was, they were bringing me my meal special because it was gluten free, and then I looked up and I'm like, oh my gosh, eat like because they'd gone to the buffet.
Right.
Then of course they came to me and said everything on the buffet is gluten free, and I'm like, I know.
That you could say that's etiquette on you as well. Like,
Yeah, it's up to me. I'm the one without food, so please eat because I don't want you to be burdened because of me.
but and if you hadn't though, if you had just sat there and not told people,
Some might say
who's-
that was rude.
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So she had a good point. Always good to cut your burger in half.
Never.
I've never done it.
Amy does it all the time.
Why is it a etiquette?
It's much neater,
Yeah.
much cleaner. Whereas when you just take the big bite, it just goes out the
Dribbles.
sides and everything else.
Okay.
I've done it too, and it is a little better. But
And I know because most people sitting at the table are not going to go listen to this episode. So I'll spoil it. The guy goes, what about like when you take the bite of the burger? He goes, my move is I lay it down on its top in between bites.
Yeah,
And she's like, why would you do that?
because
yeah,
yeah,
yes, the motion.
the ergonomics of it.
Yes.
Well, he pointed out also because very often the top bun is thicker than the bottom bun. So the juices are going down.
Yeah.
And she was just kind of like, I don't know what to say to that.
We could do a whole thing on burger etiquette.
I don't believe I've ever put my burger down upside down.
On the top bun.
I don't think I've ever
I've done that.
yeah, for sure.
I'm not
Especially
passionate
if it's like more of like a messy situation.
There is a
Like in the car.
specific spot on your plate where your ketchup or sauces are to go.
What? Where is that spot?
5 o'clock. Because it is, if you're using, as one should, the European method with your knife and your fork, meaning you keep your fork in your left hand, knife in your right hand, and you don't switch.
Right.
So therefore, closest to where the knife is, leaving, is where your sauce is. So you take a little bit off, dab it on, and then serve yourself.
Yeah, I feel like that's not etiquette.
Etiquette?
Etiquette.
What isn't?
That.
What do you mean?
That's efficiency.
Well, so
Like, it's not being polite or anything
I
like
hear you
that.
because it's not affecting anybody else.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
sure. How many can
Wait, no, because I can't believe like somebody walking away at the table. I can't believe Eric didn't put his ketchup at 5 o'clock. Are you kidding me?
that was no more than 4.
I'm like, see, now that I know, though, I'm going to be like, we're going to be out to eat. And it's, oh, man, you didn't, 5 o'clock. Come on, 5 o'clock.
Ethan brings a new girl over. You're like, oh gosh.
4:30.
Oh, here's this 4
You got the
o'clock
mustard
girl.
at 4:30.
12
said-
o'clock ketchup.
You sit Ethan down after the meal, like, Ethan,
Listen,
She loves the Lord.
she's not the
she
one.
checked
buddy.
9
She's
out
not
of 10
the one.
boxes.
Hey, big, we already talked about it, Thanksgiving. Now, to be fair, good old Micah Meyer did say, Thanksgiving, you throw everything out the window. But in any other meal,
Like, not actually throw the food
no,
out
that
the
would
window.
be bad
That'd
etiquette.
be terrible. That's
How
waste.
many items can you eat at one point in time? Like, you got a fork. So, like, at Thanksgiving, it's mashed potato, green bean, turkey, stuffing, bite.
Yeah.
So if you're out to eat, you have, how many items can you put in one bite?
See, this doesn't really apply to me
I agree.
Yeah.
because I'm like I kind of eat one thing at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
2
really
is the
make-
answer. 3 is too many. So you're having like steak, mashed potatoes, and
Because you're
broccoli.
like grossing people out, or
because
I'll do like some steak in the like the remaining mashed potatoes,
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So those KFC bowls are
what
just-
items are you allowed to have on
those
the
aren't
table?
real.
Wallet, keys, phone,
Oh, I would say none.
none. Very good. When you are done, how do you indicate with your silverware?
You cross them on your plate.
Close, but no.
They're upside down, or your fork is upside down, right?
Yeah,
Like
'cause
prongs down.
You're trying to do the knife upside down. Knife and fork in the 4 o'clock position when done.
Okay.
So they're lined up.
lined up,
Four.
Parallel.
Just to the right.
They're lined up, yeah,
Of your ketchup.
near the sauce.
Parallel, upside down.
Parallel together.
Yes. And a V right side up when still eating.
Wow. And I did not know that. Like I know that the fork setting is always on the left, and the knife and the spoon and stuff is on the right.
Outside in.
I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
realize though that you're supposed to eat fully with your fork in the left hand.
That European. In the United States, continental, if you will, you can switch.
Like I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna. I naturally.
So
eat
you
the
can
fork.
use European in the United States. You can use continental in the United States.
I do dislike switching though because it slows you down.
But you can't use continental in Europe. That'd be rude. According to them.
Good to know.
You can use the server by name. That's actually good, which I used to think it bothers me sometimes, but
Excuse me.
like you
flow.
don't know me. Right.
Yeah.
2 fingers together to call the server over, like when you're done. So not writing the check.
Okay.
Or
yeah.
like, yo,
Certainly never a snap.
yeah. Oh, man.
Interesting.
Real quick, if you're going to a party, you should never take a dinner party. Never take flowers or wine because that's putting a burden on the host.
See, that surprises me. Even like just like a bottle of wine. Like,
Here's why. Do you want to know why?
yes.
I should have engaged you in conversation. Why does that not bother you? Why do you think that? I'll just tell you. Because say I'm having a nice striped sea bass and I'm serving this and that and the other thing, and I've got some white wine chilling. You walk up with a big bottle of Cab
Okay.
and you go, here you go. Well, it doesn't match the meal that I provided. It doesn't match the wine that I provided. Now I got to go open your wine that clashes with the food that I carefully thought out.
Oh, see.
It's a higher level dinner party.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have probably brought the wine just as a gift. Like they don't have to
Correct.
open it that night.
That's when you hand it to them and you go,
You say,
hey, listen,
yeah.
This is for you.
this is later. This is celebration, not for these idiots.
Yeah.
You serve this on your own.
Yeah, that's a good
And
move.
flowers, same thing. You're giving them a job.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Amy would love that though.
What?
My
Flowers.
Amy would love flowers. Yeah.
Sure. And she said you can also do champagne. If it's a celebration, you can always bring champagne. Weddings. People spend $125 to $150 on a wedding. Like that's what the national average is a gift or total expenses, whatever else.
Hey, I gotta go maybe buy some new clothes, like you're talking.
I don't know.
Like
She just said they
as a
spend.
guest, not the person having
No,
the
not
wedding.
on. That's not what they're spending on the
If
people.
you're going to a wedding, you're probably going to spend 125 to 150 bucks.
But that, I think that does include the gift predominantly.
Sure.
One of the great questions they ask on Are You Garbage is, if you go to a wedding, what's in the envelope? What are you given when you go to a wedding? And it's so amazing to listen to the answers. And they had Ray Romano on, and like he didn't, like you could tell he'd never seen the podcast because they're asking these random questions, and he's almost getting offended. And he's like, I don't know, a mil, 1.7. And it was so funny because he went to 1.7. Always go to the registry, but cash is always good. Two great quotes on etiquette. Number one, etiquette is kindness and thinking of the other person.
Okay.
Like, that's a good way to put it. Which goes to Brian's point of who the hell cares where my ketchup goes? How is that being kind to anybody? I agree with you.
Yeah.
And to correct bad etiquette is bad etiquette.
So how do you coach somebody when their etiquette is clearly terrible and it matters?
Well, you do it outside of the moment.
Exactly.
So, okay, because it says
To correct bad etiquette.
is
Like,
bad etiquette.
like in the
Publicly.
moment. Like if
Yeah.
you're chewing with your mouth open, I don't say, Brian, stop chewing with your mouth open.
in the moment.
But like
then-
maybe some other time I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
Because I know you would say, hey, Brian, I respect how you present yourself to other people, and I know you really care how you come across. So I would encourage, next time maybe, don't be an animal.
Yeah, have some self-respect.
Don't get your food on my food.
Exactly.
Ham dancing fish.
So you said, Jay, we had a lot of input.
We did. Felt like there was more, as it is.
That was a lot.
Well, did we really talk about emotional needs attached to these
No, but
things,
we
though?
will now.
Okay. All right.
I feel like a lot of it is acceptance.
Well,
stuff.
I was going to say, you talked about acceptance on the airplane.
Like I don't want to tick anybody off. I like Jay said before with Nate. Like just go unnoticed.
And that's
Like that's
funny.
my goal.
That's
Like,
funny because
I don't want to be remembered on the plane. You know what I mean?
I feel like most of it's respect. Like,
On the, I think. Well, it could be both. It could be both.
chip in the right spot. Have respect for me and yourself to know that but like,
Obviously it'll hit you where it hits you.
yeah.
But I feel the respect thing too, but a little differently in the sense that like, if you're offended by something I'm doing that's not like the ketchup thing, like if you're like that's disrespecting me, just that you're bent out of shape about something on my plate,
Yeah.
or that
I go back to the seat on the airplane. I'm not going to put mine back because I don't want to upset the person behind me. If Brian's sitting in front of me, he puts the seat back, I'm going to give him the respect.
You're not going to say anything
I'm not
because you
gonna
don't
say
want to
anything.
bother.
Yeah, but I'm going to give him the respect. Like,
Right.
that's fine.
So, friends on Facebook. Pam Dancison, Fitch. She was a senior when I was a sophomore. She said she misses handwritten thank yous.
oh right, this is things etiquette people miss.
Yes.
Okay.
Miss or wish there was, brought back, whatever else. They're the people that don't observe anymore. Handwritten thank yous. Brian's not moved.
I mean, I get it. Like, it's sad to me that is going away out of society.
Right?
I'm glad that I don't have the pressure. Like,
It doesn't move your needle.
Sending a text, thank you so much for this great party and this great gift. To me, that's enough.
To me, that's enough too. I'm with you on that one.
I'll go less.
Because I feel like going back to the burden with the wine and the flowers, like, now you got to do work. You got to get a card and you got to write it out and you got to get a stamp and you got to mail it. Like,
It's a lot of doing to say thank you.
my opinion is
yeah.
most times thank yous aren't even required. Or like if you give somebody a gift, it's because you want to give them a gift. And I mean, I'm sure they
It's
would.
your choice to
They
give
would
me a
say,
gift.
"Yeah." I'm just saying, no, but they would.
have to
They'll
thank
say
you for
thank
it.
you in the moment.
That's
or-
on you.
Yeah.
That's on you for giving me a gift.
I
Diane.
absolutely see where you're coming from.
You know, you say, "Oh, thank you" in the moment, but like
Yeah.
you don't need. Like you go to a birthday party and then, they open your gift, they say thanks, da da da, and then 2 weeks later you get a thank you note in the mail. Like, You don't need to do that, in my opinion. Like that's.
I'm with you, buddy.
But I mean, I get it. It's a nice gesture. It's totally.
It's a nice
Absolutely
gesture.
So I'm
and
not-
if you feel led to do it, great.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Great.
I can appreciate it.
Yeah, I can definitely
I mean,
appreciate
because when
it.
when I get it, I'm like, no, they took the time.
Right.
No, but see, I have a high need for appreciation. Whereas if you don't have a high need for appreciation, you're like, whatever, doesn't matter.
I love when people send me Christmas cards because I have a tradition where I put them on the inside of my front door.
Yeah.
And recently I've been getting less and less Christmas cards.
Right, yeah.
But then there's the flip side. Is like, I don't send Christmas cards out to anybody. Why am I going to get any?
You're like, well, this tradition has gone down the tubes. But that brings up an
I
interesting
get mad at
point.
everybody else. Sons of send me cards.
Dan Leopold sits at
great.
the table with us each and every week and contributes greatly. And he said people actually writing inside a Christmas card.
Yes.
That he goes, don't send me a Christmas card with just a signature. And so but you're saying, please do.
Yeah. I love that.
With like a picture of the family. It's like an updated photo of the family.
Well, he's saying he wants a sentimental
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
get it.
and I'm
I get
saying
it.
like
I'm saying,
okay,
yeah.
I
Brian.
like it I like number one getting a card. Number two, okay, you signed it. Number three, it's even better if you tell me a story.
What about like the Christmas letter? Does anybody do that? Anybody do the Christmas letter?
Big guy just showed up, and he did put a big hole in all of our Thanksgiving drafts. Wine.
My man.
Yep.
Yeah.
None of that
So
sparkling.
it's bad.
green.
That's bad
That's
etiquette,
spark-
Bob. That's bad etiquette.
As it is. You were saying, Eric, I interrupted you.
Does anybody do the
family newsletter?
The family newsletter.
Oh, boy.
My family did that growing up, and I've not carried on that tradition.
I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm too. I told you guys before we were on the air. Like this is a busy time. Like
Yeah, is that what's stopping you, though? Like,
It comes around every year.
Like, do you want to do it?
it's my excuse, I guess.
Yeah, but if you had time, would
it's
you
a
want to
delicate
do
thing.
it?
No, I
If you
wouldn't
have the
wanna do
time
it.
to make it funny and whimsical, I
Yeah.
think that's one thing. Like, we get some where you're like
and
like
I feel
distant
like-
family members,
I
and
feel
it's
like
all
social-
bragging.
the
It's-
social media's kind of
Right.
made it
We're all
irrelevant
caught
too.
up.
You know.
Yeah, that was going to be my point.
Right,
Like,
it's a
I
different
already
age.
know what's going on. I don't.
For a good run, I'd say maybe 10 years, my family, what we did is we took turns, and one person would write it, and then we would read it at Christmas dinner. So, like, we would read it to the family with highlights from like, you would have to do research on what everybody went through that year and what did they persevere and everything else. And then, of course, we got creative with it. So, like, the one year Rachel and I did it, we did it as a nightly news, and we recorded it.
Oh, yeah.
And I went around to, like, each person's house and videotaped their Christmas lights, and we had, like, hilarious
that's awesome.
commercials
That's great.
and everything else.
That's fun.
And then we offended somebody, and then it ended. But not in that one. But later on. But that was a lot of fun. Man, I wonder if I guarantee you, Marcy has it.
See, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, Marnie O'Connor, here's a big one: kids using Miss, Mrs., and Mister as a sign of respect to adults.
I could get down with that.
Yeah.
I think it's less important to me than it is to probably our previous generation or people of our previous generation. I don't. It's funny. Some of Ethan's friends, hey, Ethan's dad.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Right. Look, you took the time to go Ethan's dad.
yeah.
You couldn't have dropped a Mr. Her, which you would say, Mr. Her?
Yeah.
That's my
And I don't
father.
even, like, I kind of don't want to be called Mr. Her.
Sure.
You know, like,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
call me Brian.
But I like
Being
it.
called
when people-
Mr. Hammond would be weird to me. But it's not something I
Being
miss.
called Mr. Hammond
But I
would
like
be
it.
weird to me, too.
Yeah, right.
Because, see, here's my point. If Nick the Rat, one of Ethan's friends, if he would call me Mr. Mitlow, and then I go, no, call me Jay. Now that's given me the opportunity to bless him. No, you're on my. I want you to call
Right.
me Jay. We're
Right,
going to
right,
be
right.
relational here.
Yeah.
You've shown me respect. Now I'm going to show you a little belonging. I'm going to
Yeah.
bring you in that we're okay. We're
like
buddies. You know what I mean? I like at least the offer for a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like now. Clearly, I get called Mr. Davidson all the time as a
Well,
teacher,
sure.
but this sounds super old school. I love the kids that are still like, yes, sir,
Oh, for sure.
because, and I don't even know. Like, yes, it's respectful, but I love it because it is concise. I know they heard me.
Yeah.
and
Right. It's
It tells
respectful.
you a lot
it's
about
respectful.
that
yes,
person's
yes.
character.
it's like a very because usually when I am redirecting a class or whatever or a kid, and it can turn into a whole thing.
Yeah.
But if there's just a yes sir, I know they get it that I need something from them, and they are back on track.
Business is politely handled.
Yeah, there's like a whole
Yep.
second and third level of understanding that goes into just that yes sir.
Yeah.
We had a family member, Mary Lynn brought this up, and it was big on Mr. and Mrs. But I also remember, now this is old school. I was saying something about my mother, and I said, and she, and he goes, or her, either did her or she, and it could have been either. And he's like, who's she? She is the cat out on the lawn. That's your mother. And as a kid, I was like, my mother's the cat out on the lawn? But that was the thing. You didn't refer to your mother as she or her. That you would use her name, and that my mother, not she told
Interesting.
me.
I can see that.
My mother.
So
told
you're
me.
saying pronouns could be like a lower level of
Disrespectful.
etiquette. Yeah.
Right.
Huh. I never thought of that.
Cell phones at the table, Marnie, also.
Yeah.
But here's what's interesting. I think that's a respect issue. Would you not think?
Yes.
I think it's respectful. Like,
And belonging.
Because she said, which is weird because she'll correct her teenagers. Like, it breaks her heart when she sees like 4 teenagers' friends all on their phones. Well, it's not a respect issue for her. It has nothing to do with her. But be with the people you're with.
Right.
Don't be somewhere else. Today I was checking out at Aldi. I know, shocker. And my man Rajon was there. And it didn't occur to me until we were talking about tonight's podcast as I checked out that he always calls me Mr. J, which is cool because he's probably 35. But he said his grandmother's house, if you're on the phone, you're not permitted in the house. You can end the phone call. And then you can come in.
Yeah.
And you don't make or take a call in the house, and you don't text when you're in the house.
wow.
And I said,
Lots of people going to the bathroom in that house.
I said, when she leaves the room, he goes, everybody's in the phones.
That's good.
Dan Leopold pointed out something I think that is very, very, very obscure, but it bothers him when healthy people take good parking spaces. That he
I'm guilty
purposefully
of that.
Parks far away.
Are you saying not even the handicap spaces? You're just like
Right.
good
Yeah.
spaces
Like
near-
next to the handicap space. I'm guilty of that.
We call
for
that
sure.
the Davidson space.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
It depends on where we
next to
are.
handicapped. I didn't mean it that way.
But like if we're going to Sam's, I'm parking by the cart return anyway.
Which people don't. That's absolutely.
Oh, see,
that's
but
what-
I think
the
that's a
go-to
good
move.
space, right?
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
far.
yeah.
The far one.
But it's far from the door.
Okay.
But-
Win-win.
Win-win.
Win.
Win.
So I see Dan's point, and I agree.
Yeah.
I learned that years ago in my wine selling days, not because people were unhealthy or whatever, but to always take the most selfless spot when you're visiting a grocery store.
Yeah.
That as a sales rep, you don't want to just be parking in a good space that was there for a customer.
I remember when I worked at my first job at Giant Eagle, we had to park far away from the store.
So Alexis, high school classmate of mine, she said, no response to a text or a call or an email.
Yeah, I agree.
What's this
And I'm
picture of
guilty of that
Chris Davidson
sometimes
doing?
too. I know. I'm not. I know. I'm guilty of it. But I agree that is not a polite thing. Yeah. Well, especially if it's something that, if you're leaving somebody hanging.
Well, and her one example, we got into it a little bit later, and if we have time, we'll go in. I don't know if we will. It, like, she texted her family member who she knew was moving, and she was like, hey, I found this ad for free furniture. Do you want me to look into it? And they didn't respond. And she's like, well, I'm helping you, you know.
It's that indifference, like
The opposite of love?
yes, there's that level of indifference that does hurt a little bit, and it's hard in this day and age. Like, everybody's so busy, it's easy to forget a text. I don't know.
Yeah. So I think that goes with, attention, respect, belonging. Do I not matter to you?
Yeah.
Do you not respect me enough to respond? Or do you even see me? Am I even here? So Ryan McGuire, he had a couple of them. One of his was telling me good morning. I hate that. I was like, I don't know what to do with that. And we went back and forth a little bit because it was like, is that like, because they're not being authentic? Like, have a good day, or
Like just in passing somebody by?
like basically he doesn't care for the trite, rote response or, greeting. Either take the time and talk to me or just walk on by.
I can sympathize with him.
Wow, I'm the opposite.
Well,
You can say good morning, but I don't want to
Hey.
stop and have a conversation.
Well, to be fair, I don't know that he said that. I was just trying to figure out what he meant.
Okay.
Brian?
just like as a water guy, what's it like outside? Is it raining?
Oh, yeah.
Go outside and freaking look yourself. Get
Yeah.
up off your butt.
Yeah.
Like, so I like that kind of surface level trite conversation. I don't like.
See, I'll counter that. Well, no, I'm not countering it. I'm agreeing with you, Brian, in that constantly having to be a source of information for people, that would be really annoying and sounds like poor etiquette.
Yeah.
But I think that
And I don't think they even want the information. It's just like,
They're just
I don't
filling
know what
time.
else to
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
My favorite is in convenience stores, and I've said this. I know I've said this at the table before. When it's like really raining outside, and then you go in, like somebody comes into the convenience store and they go, "Whoa, it's coming down out there," and they're like, "Yeah, I got a big window. I didn't sleep here. I came in this morning through the same snow you did." You know, that's
But I would make the argument about the good mornings, though, that like if we're just talking etiquette, it's bad etiquette to just walk by somebody and not say anything.
he said he prefers the head nod.
Okay.
But-
An acknowledgement.
some acknowledgement.
But and again, when I worked at Churchill Country Club in the men's locker room, I got, "Hey buddy, how you doing? Hey buddy, how you doing? Hey buddy, how you doing?" And I realized they weren't listening.
They didn't want
Yeah.
to.
And I've said this before as well, but I said to them one day, I said, "I'm not good, thinking about committing suicide." And the guy went, "Okay, buddy, have a good day." Wasn't true, by the way. But he just said common civil discourse, just having disagreements that don't end in severed relationships. I think that's respect. I think that's,
Yeah. Belonging.
yeah, for sure. Good old Lydia, she said, as a teacher, too many to list. Chris, what do you think?
Breaches of etiquette or wishes
Yeah.
that sure. And I mean, teaching elementary, in recent years, I have definitely taken it. Our whole school has, I think, or maybe elementary teachers always have. Like that's part of it. Like you're teaching these little people how to be people. You know what I mean? And so like learning politeness and everything is part of that. And when I came down to elementary, that was not something I was used to having to do. You know, so I've gotten more on board with that, I guess, over the past few years. But yeah, there's always kids are saying something. You're like, you should not be commenting on my clothing or my
Right.
or like whatever.
Like,
Like
who are you to think you can make this comment? Like, no, I'm saying that to a kid.
Yeah.
right.
They're like,
yeah.
khaki pants
You're
again.
supposed to be you're supposed to be afraid of me. You know, you're supposed to respect me. It comes down to respect.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you think of the things like back in our day, my day's a little bit removed from your day. You didn't swear in school. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you get sent to the principal's office for talking smart or wise.
Right.
Now they don't get punished for dropping F-bombs.
No,
Like, what are we talking about here?
Right.
yeah, the loss of that respect for position.
For humankind?
Yeah, it's-
Let alone the position.
Yeah. Even peers,
Yeah.
like peer to peer.
Yeah. I mean, at my level, like again, like elementary, they definitely get in trouble for swearing. But maybe as they get older and it's more like it's almost like pick your battles, which is sad.
Right.
It's sad.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Let
Lydia
it go.
also said she went from sort of, you know, the holding the door. She said that Dakota was the first guy, her boyfriend, to ever open the door for her. And she said it was so weird. And now, like, she's surprised when he doesn't. Like, and I think that's a nice thing for guys to do.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's also been the guys that have been trained to not do it because women, in a lot of cases, have said that is
Sexist.
misogynistic.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And so they're with the wrong woman.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Or so you want to be with somebody who matches your etiquette. Yeah. Because I could get down with that. I mean, Amy certainly can't. Like, that's just, she wants to feel a little taken care of.
Sure.
So,
I'm a door opener, but if we're going into like a full room, we've talked about this. I open the door and I go in first so that not all the attention's on Amy. She can walk in behind me and enjoy the view, you know.
What was it,
But she's not as noticed, you know what I'm saying?
what was it Tyler and Kira said? That Tyler holds the door for her,
Yeah.
but then goes past her.
Right. But
Yeah.
She
holds
doesn't
the
want to be
door.
the first one in the room.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my, like, if it's
Or no,
raining.
he goes in the door, then leans back and
Yeah.
holds the door for
Yeah.
her.
If it's raining or something, you know, I try to be the gentleman. I'm like, oh, Amy, you want me to drop you off at the door? She's like, heck no. She does not want to be walking in
Oh,
there with
yeah,
like
no.
and have the attention on
Oh,
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. No, never drop off at the door. Gosh. I'm saying Rachel would not.
Right.
Yeah.
She'd
wanna
be alone, and like, what are you going to run into?
Well, it sounds like the right thing to do.
It
you know?
does. But unless they're together, if the girls are together,
Sure.
and then we're dropping off,
Well,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the right thing to do would be is you would hold the umbrella over her so she doesn't care. Anyhow,
Right.
she's dry no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
But good for Dakota. He's a good old Virginia boy. Denise Ressler, RSVPing, ignoring, and Kelly Fry agreed with her that an RSVP means nothing anymore.
What do you mean means nothing?
When you get an RSVP, people are like, oh, sweet, I got invited. But they don't respond.
Oh,
Let
yes.
alone
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
view, or play.
This happens with kids' birthdays.
Graduation parties. Kids' birthdays is where you are right now.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And so I agree. And that's, I mean, again, guess
It's-
what that is?
It's rude and
It's
disrespectful.
respect.
Yeah.
Is that what that stands for?
Responsez, s'il vous plaît. Respondez?
S'il vous plaît. That's what SVP is.
Yes, or Scott Van Pelt.
Or
Okay.
senior vice president.
I always want. It's funny. I never looked it up.
Isn't it respondez?
I don't
S'il vous
know.
plaît?
Who knows?
Kelly Fry agreed. And you know what? Those are both good hosts. Door holding, gone, she said. And it breaks her heart.
Gone.
The ghosting is a thing. Which is funny because ghosting now is you stop texting, you stop responding. Like the back day, it's let it go to voicemail. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, but so it's sort of always been there, but it's more prevalent.
Yeah.
It's more prevalent because so many people have more access to you. Also, like it's not always a bad idea to like sever ties in certain ways. You know what I mean? Like, but it's I don't know. You're in contact with so many more people. Is all I'm saying. Is like there's
More people have the ability to reach you.
yeah.
And if you're constantly carrying ongoing conversations and like you can't like you text, they text, you text, they text, you know what I mean? Like you can't do that. You can't.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to.
Like at some point
Yeah.
you're just gonna not text, and then like if for me, if you're not in front of my brain, you don't exist anymore. You know what I mean? So, no, sorry.
So if you're wondering, is Brian thinking of you?
No.
I'm praying for you.
No. He's
Have I ever prayed for you? Maybe.
Maybe.
Mary Lynn brought up some good stuff. She said that back in our day, we had to be excused from the table.
Yeah.
we have Maggie do that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
We
Yeah.
we used to
Keeping
do
an
that
eye on
also
stuff.
actually, and that, I mean that is just a kid thing.
But it also
right? I mean,
presupposes
that's not,
no, not for us. It wasn't.
Oh, do
I
tell.
mean, through early teen at least.
Oh, okay.
But it presupposes what?
That you're at the table together. Yeah.
Exactly. So you could have added families having dinner together.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And if you pass the salt, if somebody asks for the salt,
Salt and pepper together.
salt and pepper's here.
Yeah.
You got to give them both.
Yep.
Using your napkin, waiting for everybody to eat, all those respect issues. Like as we went down this list and I put an emotional need next to each one, it was like respect, respect, respect. Back to my mother and back to our first one. I mean, you had to say thank you. If you got a gift, don't tell, I mean, you can tell them you loved it, all those things, but it was so important to say the words thank you.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it.
Elizabeth Kent, you guys actually know her son. That would be Denton.
Oh, okay.
Dressing for church.
I mean,
there we go.
I wear clothes every time I go to church.
Can I say something real quick about the
Oh, yeah, please do.
respect thing?
Gotta respect.
Another elementary thing that it's amazing. Like you say, thank you. Like it finishes, like it shows that respect to somebody. Another thing that shows respect at the elementary level that we try to instill in kids is say you're sorry. And like it solves so many problems. Like, you know,
knew?
so and so touched so and so, or they got
Right.
their foot stepped on, or they just looked at he's making a face, or whatever it is. Like, say sorry. And like, as soon as the one kid says sorry, to see the first student, the offended student, their demeanor just changes. Like on these young kids, especially, they're like, it means so much to them that the person just says, "Oh, I'm sorry," and that's like it fixes so much.
Well, I think a lot of this is we're talking about societal transactions. Like a lot of these things are a transactional thing, and if you expect something in this transaction or you get something that is good, it feels good because you've completed a successful transaction. You know, that's a good feeling. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Bob Cheney added that hats in church didn't used to be a thing, and now people wear hats in church. I get it. I get both. I get the priority, the emphasis on dressing up for church, and also the fact of, hey, God loves us just as we are, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. A hat thing is always...
Hat inside.
Yeah.
Unless you're a fancy lady.
Like I've always been a, I don't really care person, but...
Something to it.
So like, yeah, there's something. It's certainly it's one of those things that doesn't hurt anybody, but certainly shows respect.
In the presence of a lady, you take your hat off. Did you just say that?
No, I said like you know, like there's some women still do, but more so back in the day, they would wear like a fancy hat that would match their outfit to church.
Yeah.
You know,
Rachel would love to bring that back. Like back in my day at IU, Bob Knight would address the student body, and we would meet in the IU auditorium, and there'd be like 5,000 seats or whatever. And I mean, immediately it was take your hats off.
Yeah.
To the guys.
And I mean, I take my hat off.
He was big on respect
in church a good
Not to
bit.
his players,
Not
obviously,
like if we're doing like a game night, but for Sunday service.
Sure.
Right.
I'm not wearing a hat.
Well, and Bob Knight was breaking etiquette there,
When?
Oh, he's correcting people.
correcting bad etiquette on the
He was
spot.
teaching students.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Teaching
It was a
them good.
yeah, that's
we,
true.
We could do a whole episode on Bob Knight. Hey, Ann DeVito, speakerphone talking loud on phone in public. Here we go, baby.
Terrible.
Yes.
There's a modern one. Ugh.
It's the worst. It's rude.
Yep.
A woman speaking on her speakerphone. Ready? Tonight at Aldi in front of me, checking out.
No.
Yeah.
So not only on her phone while checking out, or not only talking on speakerphone while checking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I good.
And some people, it's almost like they're just streaming their lives to other people that are on the other side of
I
the
didn't
phone.
tune in,
Like,
bro.
Yeah, like
I did not
Right.
download that
Yeah,
episode.
Yeah. Well, and I have no problem with like there's businesses out there that post signs like we will take care of you as soon as you get off your phone.
Oh, amen.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
That did happen to me once in a convenience store where the guy was on the phone. The clerk.
yeah.
Christine Schultz, kids saying yeah or yeah instead of yes. That was big. My fourth grade teacher. I mean, you did not say yeah or nah or whatever. Again, these are all respect. Larianne just came in hot and heavy. Common courtesy. I miss common courtesy. Hold a door for somebody. You don't need to be first. Give your seat up to someone older than you or who needs to sit. Give help when help is needed. Don't let no fly out of your mouth. At least take time to contemplate the question before you answer. And if the question is asked and there's a need that needs to be met, be kind.
I read that one sentence way different in my head. Don't let no fly out of your mouth.
Keep all the flies in your mouth. If you know Lorianne, that's
Green
just how she
Mile?
talks. We went over, and again, those are all, well, some are support, some are appreciation. But Rachel was giving me like 8 different examples, and then we just summarized it. Just bad etiquette are the things that bother Rachel. And it was just different things with different people at work and stuff like that. She's like, you can't use that. You can't use that. You can't use that. I'm like, all right, just all things that bother Rachel. How's that? She's like, yes, that's bad etiquette. But then perhaps, well, and I want to summarize before we do the last one.
Yeah.
My theory going into it was people will miss the etiquette that they value the emotional need the most. So like the thank you note. Well, if you have a high need of appreciation, that's going to bother you more than if not. And to a degree, that's true. But I was overwhelmed at, they're all respect, like 90%.
Yeah.
And if we were better at what we do, we could probably delve longer into that. Like, what does that mean? Like, are we just that detached? Do we not have respect for one another? Is respect morphed? Both Todd Haller and Todd Locker have both said rules don't apply to anybody. You're the center of your own world. It's the narcissistic angle of things.
And I will
So,
say, going through all the people that have done the relational needs questionnaire, lunchtimeinrome.com, respect is one of the most common.
Well, then we're going to conclude with my man, Aaron Garcia, who I think you guys have all met. He played in the Patty's Longest Day. He had the cute little puppy.
Yeah.
He just said, people who don't let faster players play through.
Yeah.
on the golf course.
To which I said, that's why I play disc golf. Because ball golf is terrible for that. Disc
Yeah.
golf, it only happens at Shinley.
Right. Well, that's it. What an episode. That was a great Thanksgiving episode. Number 269. We're not on next Wednesday, so join us 2 weeks from tonight at 8:45 for episode number 270. Between now and then, please give us a like or follow on social media and visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com. While there, take our relational needs questionnaire. Thanks for joining us at the table for Lunchtime in Rome.
See you in 2 weeks.
Ciao.
Bye.